I'm basically what I'm doing is, so now that I had a session, right, and we ran and ran and ran, and now at the end of it, I like to go through my gear, and if I have anything to upgrade, or like if I feel like and again, I'm starting to reroll more. Keep in mind, so let me just talk about what I'm doing. Like my plan, like what I'm doing, why I'm playing Bone Spear, and my plan, you know, to get to 100 and get back to the PvP grind. Um, so you just saw I actually upgraded my ancestral gear. Now that I'm starting to get actual like decent gear, it's getting to the point where it's worth it, because I'll be able to push higher and higher. Like we were just farming 39, speed running 39, tier 39s. So the next session hopefully will be, you know, low, pushing mid 40s, and just keep, you know, going higher and higher. The higher we can go within reason, obviously the more XP we're going to get, right? Faster we're going to get to level 100. For me, I was planning on trying to transition by the time I got to World Tier 4 into a Bloodlance build. It just so happened the gear I'm finding, Bone Spear already is super strong. Everybody knows that, even after the nerfs. But a lot of the gear I'm finding, it's locking me in. And at this point, at level 78, obviously 3 days into the season, I don't see I did try switching to Bloodlance actually earlier today before I started today's session, and tried it, and it's okay, but again, my gear, it just was not anywhere comparable to what I've found for Bone Spear. So again, I'm just gonna commit to Bone Spear and share with you guys what I'm doing with Bone Spear, like Bone Spear, my version of it, to give you guys a better idea of if you want to try it. I know a lot of people are coming into the stream and asking about it because it's just super efficient. You guys can see how fast we're running 39s. Even at like early level 70, right? I think we started the day at level 70, and we were doing by 72, 73. We were doing the mid 30s, 39, whatever. I don't know. But Bone Spear is just too strong. Simple as that. And with the drops, like I said, it just locks me in at this point. But when it comes to the gear, I'm just, again, keep in mind, I'm just working with what I get. If I get a piece of gear that is somewhat decent, I will try to roll on it. You know, early game I would roll one time. Like I'm talking World Tier 3. That's when I didn't really roll on anything until I got World Tier 3. But it's only if it was like a 3 of 4 item, like worth it in my opinion, to at least roll once on the 4th one to see if I could get something better. And it seemed to work well for me. I didn't use many resources. It doesn't cost much gold, but it helps you out along the way, you know, if you get lucky. So that's what I did when I got to World Tier 3. Now that I got to World Tier 4, then I kind of upped it. Instead of 1 roll, I would do, you know, 2 or 3 to a piece. Now, like I said, I just finished this session, and I actually rolled, you know, up to 5 times. So I'm just kind of setting a limit of like how many rolls I'll do. But I do want to, you know, not only put gear on and be stronger, just from the gear sense, but like I said, rolling at least something that's slightly better can just make things a little bit easier, and you might get really lucky. For me, just rolling a couple times, I actually ended up being fairly lucky on most of them. If I did get a piece and didn't like it, if I found something better, again, roll on that one, get lucky on that one, whatever. Just work with what you got, basically, is the best piece of advice I can give in terms of leveling, especially if you're trying to do it quickly. For me, again, I'm trying to get to level 100 as fast as possible to get back to where I was with my PvP build, so I can get back to working on that. So Bone Spear for me, just because it's so strong, and again, the drops, it's a no-brainer for me. I'd be shooting myself in the foot doing anything else, because again, my main focus is to get back to level 100, back to where I was before the season started. So again, now that I'm level 78, I'm starting to actually upgrade my stuff because it's all ancestral. You can see they're 5 of 5. My weapon, really lucky, 809. You know, that's absolutely worth fully upgrading. It's actually, the stats are even good on it. It's just the stats are a little low, but like I said, it's just, the gear I'm getting, like, look at that weapon. I got that at like level 70, what was it? 75. I actually had one really good that I got like at 70, and then at 75 I got this one. But yeah, anyways, gear wise, so Deathless Visage, just simple, easy. again, for Bone Spear. I've actually found quite a few of them, so it shouldn't be too hard for anybody to get once you get to World Tier 4. For my chest, I put Might on it. Again, just more DR. DR still super important, especially even more so after the nerfs. With this build, with Bone Spear, you're sticking and moving a lot, or at least I am. My playstyle of it is, I definitely am a lot more squishy, obviously, than Shadow, but my damage makes up for it, and especially if I position myself, you know, dodge out of things, and just keep moving. And you'll see I have a lot of mobility actually in the build, which you'll see in a little bit once I get to my boots and amulet. I'll kind of explain that. But so chest, I probably would rather have some DR in here, ideally, but again, this is just the best thing I've gotten that makes the most sense, so I'm just rolling with it. It's all damage, but might kind of, you know, again, helps with the DR aspect of it. Gloves, again, just the best thing I've gotten so far. I think I would like to have +3 or, well, +4 Bone Spear rather than one of the other ones, but again, for now, this is just the best thing I've gotten. Grasping Veins, of course, one of the strongest aspects in the game, still, even after the nerf. Pants, just got these, just put these on, and actually was a big upgrade for me. But Bone Storm, Shielding Storm, again, no brainer. DR helps with survivability, and definitely notice it. But this, and I can't even remember what my other ones had, not nearly as good as what these ones are. This is like the first piece I've actually gotten like real good stats on, in terms of DR. So big win there for the next session. Boots, these are, again, where all the mobility comes in, especially for speedrunning, trying to get level 100 as fast as possible, get through stuff as fast as possible. The implicit movement speed, obviously straight movement speed, and then the Wind Striker critical strikes grant movement speed. Lots and lots of movement speed there, and then you pair that with the amulet. I got 14% on the amulet. It's only a sacred. Obviously, if it was ancestral, it'd be significantly more, which hopefully we'll get there soon. But again, just working with what I get best I can, putting it together. But to me, movement speed is huge. I can't stand not having a ton of movement speed. Granted, like a tier 100 is different, but like in a general, you know, 95% of playing the game, movement speed just feels so much better to me. So I'm going to get as much as I can wherever I can, you know, within reason. But so for the amulet, again, keep in mind, I've been throwing this together as I've progressed, you know, as fast as I can. This is what, day 3 of the season, level 78 now. But this will be, actually got this amulet pretty early on, 46, and at level 46. And Disobedience is one of the absolute strongest things in the game, especially early game. Putting it on an amulet just, again, helps with the survivability and being able to do things, I feel, a little bit faster because you pull more stuff. I probably am going to switch this to more damage eventually, like once I get a better neck. Maybe move, because the Grasping Veins, like on here, again, obviously it's kind of a low roll. Maybe swap, you know, some stuff around. Maybe put Grasping Veins in the amulet instead, or whatever. I don't know. But for now, like I said, this works really well. Has worked. And yeah, just, again, kind of winging stuff. Rings, not the greatest in terms of for Bone Spear, but again, it's the best of what I've gotten so far. Ossified Essence, Serration is the aspect, huge damage bonus, and then Exposed Flesh, of course, on the other one. This is mandatory. I would say if you're planning on playing Bone Spear, absolute mandatory must-haves. For sure, Exposed Flesh, no question. And if you can get the Lucky Hit Restore Primary Resource on your gloves, those are like some of the most noticeable ways to get your essence back and be able to spam your bone spears. But yeah, gear wise, aspect wise, that's it. In terms of the hearts, again, no question, the corpse automatically activating is probably the best thing. It chain CCs and doesn't actually use your cooldown with tendrils. So like I can wait for this. Typically I wait for it to do it because it almost always starts with it with the tendrils, And then after that, then I'll use mine. And like I said, it kind of sets up a chain CC. Super strong, really fun. And then for the other one, I don't know the name of this one, but it's the core skill basically costs life every 5 seconds rather than resource, which again just helps me get more bone spears out. And I believe the bone spear, when it does cast like that, actually has more damage, right? It's, if you read the bottom part, 18% increased damage when it happens, so it's a win-win there. See, I don't really notice it taking my life hardly at all. It seems like an absolute strong thing for bone spear. And then the decrepify for the last one, automatically you can actually see I don't even have decrepify on my bar because I don't need it. This, anything that comes near me gets put on for me. So yeah, it's actually the heart gems, I kind of knew just reading them they're going to be strong, but when they play out, they're strong. But yeah, gear wise, aspect wise, heart gem wise, hopefully that makes sense. When it comes to the Book of the Dead, I'm just doing skirmisher sacrifice, mages cold sacrifice, and golem iron sacrifice. Paragon starter, pretty standard. I'm running Gravekeeper again. Keep in mind I didn't actually plan on sticking with Bone Spear. I was going to transition out of it to Bloodlands. I just, at this point, like I said, I'm fully locked in with what I've found and whatever. It's just way too strong. So I probably would have did something other than Gravekeeper here, but again, I leveled it. It's there. It works fine. Probably not ideal, but it works fine. Going into Bone Graft, getting the legendary node. Honestly, if I were you, if you guys are just like starting out leveling and you're getting into the board, I'd probably go and get this before Bone Graft even. This is, again, when it comes to getting your resource back, essence on kill. Essence on kill, you can see you get +4 essence on kill. Actually adds up a lot. You're killing stuff all the time, and if you're speed running, it's very, very significant how much resource it actually, how much value it actually gives. At least that's how it feels for me. I'd probably get this first and then go get Bone Graft, and then you know, work your way up to get your glyph, and then finish off with the armor and max life, and then you'll be where I'm at, going over into the next board, which I'm doing Flesh Eater. Probably not, I don't know. I'm not, keep in mind, I'm not actually a Bone Spear main. I actually don't even prefer it. It's just, again, I'd be shooting myself in the foot. It's just too strong. And with the drops I've gotten, it's just, the game is picking for me what I'm playing at this point. Because again, my goal is really to get back to level 100 as quickly as possible, and get back to that PvP build. It's just way too much fun. I can't wait. But again, I actually, the more I play Bone Spear, I see why people play it. It is like, starting out, it feels really boring, but the more you actually get it in tuned, and especially once you can spam it, the damage is no question super high. And when you add the mobility, it's actually, you know, the mobility aspect is huge for me though, no matter what build I'm playing. And like I said, movement speed everywhere I can get it. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Again, I'm just working around with what I get best I can, and that's all you can really do. But Paragon, again, glyph choices maybe not the best, but you guys can do whatever you see fit there. Skill tree, I'll show you real quick as well. I'm doing Acolytes, Bone Splinters, and Paranormal Bone Spear. Unlimited energy, of course, with the perfectly balanced. I'm not sure if that's a bug or intended. You used to be able to put 3 in there. Now you can only do 1. I have no idea there. Hewed Flesh. Keep in mind, I actually don't. I'm using Blood Mist, but I don't actually have a point in it because of my gear. And it actually is nice because it saves me actually quite a bit, because I get a little wild at times when I am pulling stuff and trying to clear stuff as fast as possible. Corpse Explosion, max, and with Blighted, just extra damage, and especially with that walking corpse auto deploy stuff with the heart gem. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Grim Harvest 1, Fueled by Death 3, and 3 in Death's Embrace, not only for the damage, but the damage reduction. I could probably add amplified damage because I am running Decrepify, of course, again, because of the heart gem, but it auto does it. So maybe work that in somewhere, somehow, at some point. I don't know. Like, again, keep in mind, I'm just going as fast as possible, leveling as fast as possible, and min-maxing here and there when I have time. But it seems to be working well. I'm running stuff very fast, very strong. But yeah, Plague, of course, for the vulnerable on Tendrils, and then 3 Serration, 3 Compound, and 3 Evulsion, 3 Standalone, 3 Memento, Supreme Bone Storm, of course, and then the Ossified Essence. So hopefully, I think that's it, right? Book of the Dead, Skill Tree, Paragon, Aspects, Gear. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully that helps you guys. Everybody asking to see what I'm doing for my leveling build. Keep in mind, this is a leveling, build. It's to be as fast as possible, efficient as possible, strictly for leveling and speed farming dungeons, nightmare dungeons. So my method to leveling was, world tier 2 right out of the gate. I got level 15 doing the world quest right next to Kyovashad, and then moved into stronghold farming up to level 40. At level 40, I kind of put together what I had best I could, did some dungeons to get, mandatory aspects, and then I did the capstone. Once I got to world tier 3, I did the Tree of Whispers to get a cache in order to get sigil, nightmare sigil, dungeon sigil, and then just farm dungeons. And then at level 55, I started getting ready for the capstone, and again, kind of just went through my gear best I could, added more aspects where I felt could improve the build, and then upgraded things. I think 3, like my weapon, I upgraded to level 3 or 4. Like, actually I might have went as far as I could for my weapon, and then the other stuff I only went to level 3, 2 or 3, something like that. You definitely wanted to, for me, I wanted to beef up a little bit. It was worth investing because, again, keep in mind, level 55 is a little low for a level 70 capstone, but Bone Spear is really strong, right? I did it without dying. It wasn't too difficult. You just got to dodge stuff. But again, Bone Spear is no question. They nerfed it, but it is still super, super strong. But yeah, so after the World Tier 3 capstone, get to World Tier 4, and then Nightmare Dungeons again. So World Tier 3 is basically Nightmare Dungeons. Get yourself to World Tier 4. And again, Nightmare Dungeons. We started it. I actually, when I got to, I did a lot of it solo until World Tier 4. And then in World Tier 4, I linked up with one of my buddies, and we've been speedrunning stuff together, which is faster. Obviously, it helps. The sooner you could do that, if you have a buddy, even in World Tier 3 to do dungeons, like even the Stronghold stuff, obviously a party makes things faster, even if it's just one person with you. But yeah, level 58, we were doing tier 21 dungeons. The XP was insane, really good. And we just have progressively been getting higher and higher. And like I said, we just did this session and ended with 39s. And we're clearing them super fast. And the plan now is hopefully to get into the low 40s and just, again, keep going as within we want to be able to do it super fast and without much difficulty, as high as we can go, because the higher the dungeon, of course, the more XP. So that's kind of the plan. That's what I've been doing. It's worked really well. And again, hopefully that all helps. The gear, the breakdown, the explanation, and like I said, what my focus has been in terms of getting levels as quickly as possible to get me to 100 as quick as possible. But yeah, hopefully that helps, and good luck to anybody that watches. And yeah, I will see you guys hopefully in the stream. Much love, y'all.